Welcome in to Top Deck, where I will summarize the week's gaming news, which currently relies heavily on Magic the Gathering, but one day, very soon, it will spread more broadly into a wide variety of gaming topics. This week, I want to start with the results of last week's poll. I think going through the results will be interesting, and overall, I'm really looking forward to this sort of conversation, collecting data to validate our opinions and then grow it. So we had about 100 responses last week. I would definitely love to see, a couple hundred. I try to keep them really short to maybe taking you maybe 2 minutes. And it'll be really interesting to get a wider cross-section of the viewers. So the first question, well, it was about the Pro Tour and coverage in general. The first question was, do you watch Magic streams more than once a week? Correction, it was about Magic as an esport and watching it and what kind of things people liked watching. It was about 50-50 with actually, correction, it was about 30-30-30. 30% of people saying yes, they watch it more than once a week. 28% of people roughly saying no, they don't. And the largest majority of people saying occasionally. Now, I'm guessing that just means probably depends what's going on, what might be being covered at that time, or maybe it's just lifestyle choices, things that's going on in their life, or maybe they watch more during the winter months. I don't know. Question 2, do you watch the Pro Tour streams when able? And here was about pretty even, 61% of people saying yes, and almost 38.8% of people saying no. So, this was a little more interesting, although I suspected, at least my viewership, I tend to think, and this might be incorrect, but I think that more competitive players obviously are, it's not obviously, my opinion is that more competitive players would then be more likely to watch the Pro Tour. It's not a necessity, but it seems to pass the smell test. And I think a lot of my subscribers are more casual. Well, there's some competitive people, but in general, maybe on a channel that focused more on deck techs, we would see different results here. Question 3, which format do you prefer to watch on the Pro Tour? And this one was really spread. And I was interested to see that draft was by far the most popular. Draft and standard were by far the most popular, with sealed kind of pulling up near the rear. And then I was surprised to see, well, I guess I really wasn't surprised. More common is modern. We just had some tweets going out this weekend about a 900 player modern event in New York and how everyone wants modern, cover modern. Well, it's back on the Pro Tour. And here, it represented the second or third largest amount of replies. So standard, draft winning, standard right behind it, and then modern. For me, I like modern because I like to watch complex game states, and I like to watch our best players play the perceived more complex format. But legacy and vintage and other things like frontier were actually quite low. And so the fourth question was rate your satisfaction on the current Pro Tour coverage. And the largest amount of people were in the 3 to 4 stars range. So I would say most people are in general satisfied, with just 4 and 12 people respectively out of 85 picking 1 or 2 stars. So I would say overall most people are, I would say, a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. And that's pretty good. Obviously, I would agree that Pro Tour coverage has been getting better. It's still pretty cheesy, but that's okay. The fifth question now was, what is your favorite part of coverage? Or if you don't watch, what would make you watch? Now, this one had a lot of responses. Deck techs, QR codes on sleeves so they could have a separate screen with cards automatically displayed on the screen. I think that would be a good idea. The announcers being funny, but I'm a fairly new player, so sometimes I don't understand what they're saying. I guess that's true. Better commentary. More than anything, I like analysis and feedback on gameplay. It helps me become a better player. I think that's a valid point. I usually watch on YouTube when it's done. I tend to watch it all. but I always skip the commentaries of the staff since Randy left the show. I agree. I miss Randy. Mostly because I can't stand the voice of that woman. I don't remember her name. I think it's Maria. My favorite part has to be the drafting view. I agree too. I really like watching them draft. They like watching the matches, but I tend to stop viewing as soon as the boring pauses begin, where they loop the same music over and over again for 30 minutes. That's been a fair critique. Since I consider myself a noob still, I like when they explain things. Good point. All these are very good. Having it be on MTGO, yeah, even though it's ugly, it'd be easier to watch. People like watching the top 8 matches. Very, very good stuff. Puns from the coverage team. I think that's pretty good. LSV is fairly good at puns. So, interesting stuff. I would say I enjoy this, and I think this week's poll is going to be 5 questions on Standard. So it came out today on August 4th. A Wizards of the Coast representative polled local game store owners and asked, which best describes your player's outlook on the current Standard environment? And interesting response. Nobody really said very positive or very negative. So I take that to mean most people are like, meh. Negative was 84 of responses, while positive just 53, or neutral 43. In my opinion, basically only positive and very positive are positive, and everything else is negative, right? You don't want to have customers with a indifferent attitude about your format. So if you combine those two, basically you have 55 responses, a positive or very positive, and about 130, 140 being negative or indifferent. So my questions about the Standard format will start with the same question, but then go into 3 or 4 other questions that might be a little more helpful, for example, than this particular just, hey, it's positive or it's negative. Let's give Wizards of the Coast and together give us some interesting topic points to discuss. So check out the link in the comment below. It should take you just a minute or two to fill out the survey, and we'll go over the results on next week's show. All right, next up is the part of the show where I go through the comment section and share a couple of what I think were well thought out comments. I might not always agree with what I was saying, but that's not what I'm here for. I want to push forward the discussion. So John Parada says, I consider MTG similar to a sport like baseball. There are a lot of rules. The pace is slow and it doesn't always lend itself to being a spectator sport. Baseball has a hardcore fan base, but it's not a game that has aged well into the modern era, much as MTG doesn't translate well into the internet era. Trying to force MTG into an esport forum is the wrong way to go about it. Magic, like baseball, is simply better in person. Nailed it, in my opinion. This comment perfectly summarizes at least what my opinion is. The next comment I picked was Anthony Hennihan, who said, I agree with Magic not being very watchable. If I watch gameplay videos, it's usually Commander and only because of the commentary. Watching someone put a card down or tap a card isn't very entertaining. And I think that's that's a fair point. I think that definitely is why one of the main reasons you don't have tens of thousands of people generally watching unless it's the Pro Tour. It's just not that exciting to watch. Then we have Geralt Shepard, the last comment I picked. I agree with your statement about MTG not being a viable esport. I've tried to watch it stream before, but I always get bored and watch something else. So I think a lot of these comments get to the fact that, as entertainment, one, it's very difficult to appeal to people who aren't hardcore fans of Magic. And two, the mechanics, something in the game, it's not the game's fault, just aren't that interesting. So, hey, keep your comments coming. Feel free to comment on a variety of whatever the topics may be. And each week I'm going to pick 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 comments, pluck them out, and give them the old hand clap for taking the time for a well thought out response, helping push the communication, the commentary, the conversation forward is always appreciated in the comment section down below.
All right, we're going to work on a little on-location piece with the help of the buppers. And we're going to talk a little bit about bulk. You know, I'm curious how you all sort your bulk. Usually what happens to me is it reaches a point of epic proportions like we're seeing now, and I ultimately have to figure it all out. Normally what I do is just sort everything into commons and uncommons, and then I put them in boxes like this. Now, with the recent card quality issue with Magic cards, I have to then move these all upstairs where it's a little less humid. Otherwise, I might as well just throw them out. These are 5,000 count boxes. They come disassembled. Here's what a top looks like. Actually, I'll leave a link in the description to where I get these. I get them shipped free. You can get them at your local game store, but if you don't have that option, I usually get a pretty good deal on these if you buy 5 of them at a time. They don't ship very well, you know, cost effectively, but interestingly enough, I have a bit of a bulk situation. So I thought, how do you sort your bulk? What do you think I should do? Right now, like I said, it's just commons and uncommons, but overall, it might be interesting to hear what you all do. And certainly, if you want to come over and sort all this, and you're willing to work for Pocket, Eggs, and Hot Rods, let me know in the comment section down below. Another fun little tour spot I thought I would do with the On Location is a bit of my quote setup. You'll see it's basically totally ghetto, and I still have this giant box of stuff from Ultimate Guard to go through, and I over-ordered Arch Enemy, so buy Arch Enemy from me. I need help, and my disheveled prize shelf, but there's really nothing to it. A lot of people ask, like, how do you get the overhead shot? I used to straddle a HMC 150, like straddle a tripod, but now I use a GoPro with a custom lens so that I get better imagery and it doesn't look like stupid GoPro footage. And then I run it all through internally here. I just have the soundboard for my live streams, and then I've got the Scarlett box for my mic, which runs through instead of running via USB. Then I use an HD60. I have 2 different HD60s actually. I have a Game Capture HD, which I use to capture NES footage, which I haven't done in way too long. And then the HD60 to capture GoPro footage, so I can stream, or I can capture 60 frames a second, 4K technically. I also have this Logitech Brio, which shoots in 4K, although it's kind of suboptimal 4K. Back behind here, I just have all my crap to try and make it look decent. I've got floor lights, I've got ceiling lights, I've got these soft box lights, and that's overall just my professional setup. Look at my poor record players buried underneath garbage. To be honest, I've actually spent I spent a couple hours on Saturday cleaning up down here, and I like to get it a lot cleaner on Monday, but the show comes first, which apparently will be coming out on Monday now.
All right, well, we've come to the part of the show where I look at a little accessory, and this time, well, since I've got such a huge box of stuff that the awesome people at Ultimate Guard sent to me, I figured, well, why wouldn't I look at this stuff? So I have what is called the Sidewinder now. This is the 80 plus cards, I believe double sleeved, right? Yep, 80 plus double sleeved, 100 single sleeved. And I will say this, as with everything Ultimate Guard seems to make, of course, it's going to be priced on the high end. It seems to me more like a luxury good. But if you put things in perspective and you have, you know, a $400 deck, you know, what's 20? This is, I looked this up quick on Amazon. It looks like it's like 20 bucks, 22 bucks shipped from Amazon. I don't know what your local game store might sell it for. let's just take a look at this thing. Again, you're never going to get a high, ultra, like, specific review from me, but what you are going to get is a nice, high-definition look at it. And I can tell you, I'm probably going to say this about a lot of Ultimate Guard stuff. I mean, this, like, I don't know how to best describe the strength. Okay, let's take a magic card, right? No way. It's not strong enough to open this. Top loader, maybe. Let's see if I could just get it under there a little bit. No. Like, if you get it all the way underneath the magnets, I don't know if that's a good way to show you, but this thing closes rock hard. I mean, rock hard. Very tight. This is not going to open on you on accident. I actually love this purple color. And you've got that suede, faux suede, I don't know if it's actually real suede or not, feel here. And it's just really baller. Why is it a Sidewinder? I guess because your deck is here on the side. It like lays vertically inside here. You know, if you have it sleeved up, it goes in like this. But overall, man, I'm really becoming a fan of Ultimate Guard. And, you know, that's not because they gave me this stuff for free. Certainly, I think you should do your own research before you buy any deck boxes. But this thing looks really nice. So nice that I'm going to pick a random commenter on today's video and mail it to you for free. Let's actually wrap up last week's giveaway by revealing the winner of the Ultimate Guard Flip and Tray matte case. That's kind of a mouthful. And, you know, I pick basically a random comment. Maybe it's just that it's a good comment, or maybe it's a comment that made me laugh, but that's just how I pick it. It's not even necessarily random. Sometimes it'll just be random, but if a comment really sticks out to me, like they went the extra mile, then I'm going to pick that as a winner. And the person that won, this is Michael Bailey. I should have his comment up on the window. He just took the time to answer all my questions and give me feedback on the show, so I will happily mail this thing to you. You can email me or send me a private message here on YouTube with your address, and I will get it mailed out. This week we have this nice Ultimate Guard Flip or Sidewinder deck box. I'll also leave a link in the description below. Should you be unlucky enough, should you not win, which obviously everyone but one of you will not win, where you can buy one of these if you want. Totally up to you. But hopefully I'll be able to review some things that aren't Ultimate Guard in the near future, but I happen to have this treasure trove of things to at least show you all. So I figured it's a nice little segment. So with that, I think we're going to wrap up week 2. And I know I called this the Saturday show. I think it's my intent to always have this come out on Saturday so I can run it as like a week in review type show. This particular episode will be coming out on Monday because I got behind this weekend. However, it will be my intention to always have this show come out on Saturday. So please leave your feedback and your comments in the comment section down below. If you like the show and you want it to keep running and you made it all the way to the end, make sure you crush that thumbs up button. It'll let me know to keep working to try and improve the show and to give you kind of like a weekly, more formatted, interesting show to kind of, you know, just a variety of things that maybe don't necessarily warrant an entire video. So I hope you enjoyed this video, episode 2 of the Top Deck show. We'll talk to you again real soon.